Tommy Mann, T.O. as we called him, Chippy as I called him sometimes, was certainly bigger than life, hard to describe in a few words. An amazing combination of incredible intellect, incredible humor, incredible humanity, and just an energy that would wear us all out.
I see Tommy, T.O., Tommy Owen Mann. He was born in 1962, but a great family man. He grew up in a small family with his sister Kim, his dad John, his mother Molly, and tight-knit community, Biloxi, Mississippi, and family was really important to him. And then he just filled a room. Personality, fun, just an absolute great guy.
Tommy graduated summa cum laude with a double major in computer science and pre-med. He could have been a brilliant physician. He was inducted into the Student Hall of Fame, was in Who's Who, was a student government senator, was acting president of the student government one summer, and just really made the most of it while he was here.
And I would say that T.O. always thanked Southern Miss for his real start. He went to Catholic school, high school in Biloxi at Notre Dame, but when he came to Southern Miss, he could enjoy the Phi Taus. He could party with the best. He could hang out on fraternity row, and yet he knew that going to that classroom was really important for him, get his education, get his degree, and get out of here. He was on a little bit longer plan than most, but it worked. And he had fun, but he took it seriously.
Well, he so epitomizes the Southern Miss story. He went to work right out of college for Anderson Consulting, which soon would become Accenture Consulting International. He became the youngest partner in the history of this international business consulting firm, and eventually would become the global manager for Accenture's petrochemical consulting business. He was among the leading intellects in change management and advanced data analytics in the world.
I think the fact that he married an Irish woman, Clodagh, he was so proud of that, and she fell right into what T.O. believed, and vice versa. They love going back to Ireland. They have 4 wonderful children.
Well, you know, the good thing about Tommy is that he didn't mind us telling stories. So he would come into town, as Father Tommy said, and you know, we're both a bit older than Tommy, and we would eventually, Tommy and I would call each other and say, "Are you going to take the early shift or the late shift?" Because that's how long he'd want to go out. So I convinced Father Tommy to take the late shift one night, but Tommy Mann stayed at my house. The next morning at 6 a.m. in his boxer shorts and t-shirt, he's on my back deck, and he's walking back and forth in a very intense conversation. 6 a.m. after a long night out. He finally comes in about 35 minutes later. I said, what were you doing? He said, I was kicking off, giving a keynote speech to an international petrochemical society somewhere in Europe, from the back deck of my house. As bright as Tommy was, and the world was his oyster, he gives all credit to what he became professionally, which was astounding, to his education at the University of Southern Mississippi. And he never forgot that. So for years, he would recruit other students to his corporation, and certainly would give back of his time and his treasure abundantly. He was an honor club giver, gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to the College of Business, to the university in general, to the Honors College, but also to the athletics. So what current and future Golden Eagles can take from that is that he remembered where he came from, and he was grateful, and he showed it through his words and, more importantly, his actions.
And T.O. loved to come back. Anytime he came back to the Rock, he really enjoyed it. He brought his family. One time he came back, he rented a motorhome. He got so sick of it, he asked me to get somebody to drive it back to Texas for him. They flew back, but he loved to come here because he'd never forget that Southern Miss gave him his start.
You can walk around the campuses and see his name on a lot of things. He took little pride in that. That meant not much to him. There's a room in the College of Business named for him. There's a plaque on the wall here. There are lots of those kinds of things. I think that the legacy he would be most proud of is that he stayed true to his school.
For me, T.O., whether you're a pauper on the street or the richest person in the world, he treated you the same. He's just absolute, all-round great guy. Didn't see a difference in colour of skin, religion, whatever else. Everything was a party, everything was fun, and T.O. was right there in the middle of it.
So Tommy Mann got word that he had been inducted into the USM Alumni Hall of Fame about this time a year ago, in fact in late July. and he would receive a diagnosis of a recurrence of cancer shortly thereafter, and called Jerry DeFatta and said, I probably need to postpone that a year. I've got a few health challenges to overcome. But the story I want to tell is that just 6 weeks before his death, which was a year ago, those floods hit Houston and Katy, Texas. And even though he was in more than casual discomfort, Tommy was out in the neighborhood. His house was fine, but his neighborhood was flooded. And he was leading the relief efforts for other people within weeks of his untimely departure from us at age 54. You know, we talked in general about his generosity, but he really did give of his time and treasure to his church. He was on the board of many philanthropies in Houston, member of the Circle of Champions at Southern Miss, the Black and Gold Honor Club. He spent 2 stints on the University of Southern Mississippi Foundation as a leader. So he gave in so many tangible ways and in so many personal ways that his legacy will long live.
I would say to Claude and to his children, I'm sorry that he's not here for this. I know he wishes he were himself, and they wish he were. He's with us in spirit, and his spirit is strong and always will be strong, and I will always miss him. I know they do too.
I would say, well done, my friend. We're all better for knowing you.
Amen.